Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Well, we're back in studio, man. Look here. I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Appreciate everybody holding it down for me while I was gone. You know, I got to give a big shout out to Matt Warner at Empire Fencing out in Waverly, man. You guys appreciate all the love and support you give me. Keep doing big things, Matt Warner. I'm proud of you, young man, and proud of what you guys stand for and what you do. I've had a very interesting couple of weeks. Been down in Texas. I also ended up last week in Sioux City, Iowa. So I've been making my rounds. Oh, yeah, I left plenty red Callaway golf balls out there on the golf course in Sioux City. So if you find one with number 7 on it, it's a souvenir. Before we get to my guest tonight, I got to share something with you guys. And this is just an observation. I've noticed that, the name of this show is called the Get Your Happy On Hour. And the reason for that is because I tend to focus on the positive things in life. But what I've noticed here recently is negativity has been in the gym. And what I mean by that is negativity has been lifting weights. It's getting stronger. And it's getting a lot of attention. But for 1 hour, we're not going to focus on that. We are aware that it is out there, but positivity is more important than negativity to me. So that's why the show is called the Get Your Happy On Hour. And again, I want to welcome all of you to the show. I have a guest tonight that has witnessed what I have shared with you guys several times over and over is my life was kind of a train wreck, especially the first half. I've done better in the last 15 years, but prior to that, boy, it was not pretty. And my guest tonight happens to he had a front seat and he watched the train wreck. And I'll just say it this way. I'm so proud to introduce him because he didn't take the path that I took. Tonight, my guest is my son, Coach Tyler Bullock. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me. Always fun to be here.
Yeah, well, listen, let me tell y'all something about this young man. As a kid, I actually used to race him. And he was only in the 5th grade, but I could beat him then. So when he got to be like middle school and high school, then I could no longer beat him. And so he thinks that I could never beat him ever. And I had to laugh when I thought about this. When he was a senior in high school at North Star, I was in Texas and I came back for senior night. And they found out that he was my son, and they were like, your dad played on some pretty good teams at Nebraska. If you're given an opportunity to play at Nebraska, do you think you can do better? He looked at me, and then he looked at the news or the sports report and goes, man, I just played football because my dad, I've been beating him at everything he does since I was in the 5th grade. And I figured if he could do it, anybody could do it. I'm a basketball player. I never forgot that. I mean, he said it with so much confidence, And to his credit, I'll give him this. He did go out right after that football season was over, and he led the state of Nebraska in scoring in basketball and got a full ride to Denver. So I'll give you that one, T-Bull.
Caught me in the moment, man. that competitiveness, that competitor in me kind of has a mind of its own sometimes. So I'm glad it was as mild as you tell that story.
Yeah, well, it was really a little bit more than that, but I tried to keep it radio sensitive.
That's fair. That's fair.
So T-Bull, share with everybody, man, after you left high school, you did have a lot of success in high school. I think and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you were all state in football, basketball, and track.
Something like that. I think I might have been second team in football,
second team,
first team in basketball, and we'll just say that I had success in track. I'm still a little bitter about not getting that 100-meter dash done at the state track meet.
Well, you finished second though, right?
I did. And again, I don't mean to sound like that guy, but when you set out to do anything, you want to win. And as you can tell, it still strikes a chord.
Yeah. Well, one thing I will say, competitiveness has always been there. And, not that that's a bad thing, but I think sometimes sore loser might be.
Oh, and I wear that badge with honor. My quick story, my former coach and boss, Coach Hansen, we're sitting there and we're talking. At this time, I had finished up and I'm now coaching, and we're talking about something, and I don't want to be done with it, and they want to move on. And then this is when, probably the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. He said, Bull, in 25 plus years of coaching, you're hands down the worst loser I've ever coached. The only response I could think of was thank you. So yeah, I've gotten better about how I carry myself, but the disdain of losing is still fresh as it has been ever.
Yeah, well, I know that, but I've always laughed about it because I got another funny story too. Now that I think about it, you were probably, you weren't 10 years old. I'd say 8 or 9, and we went up to the football stadium, and you probably at that time, which you're much taller than I am now, but at that time your head came about my waist, and all these kids that were your age, they came up to us and go, hey, can we get y'all autograph? And it was me, I think Rozier, Russell Gary, quite a few of us. And you didn't have a problem with nobody signing autographs but me. I mean, because the little kid looking you eye to eye asking me for an autograph, and you like, why you want his autograph? He's just my dad.
Hey, truer words may have never been spoken.
But no, I just want to, before we even get into this, I just want to say I'm proud because I've watched this journey, and it hasn't been an easy one because right after you went to Denver, you got a full ride to the University of Denver. And then shortly after that, because I think it was because your grandparents on your mom's side was sick. And
correct.
And you transferred.
Yep. Yeah, I came back home, and it was a tough decision because we weren't winning at the time at DU, but you could tell that we were hopefully on to something.
Yeah.
And so that was a hard decision for me to kind of get out of there. But I think most people will agree, family comes first. And so you have to make those tough decisions. And so I did and got out of there.
Well, I remember seeing a billboard in Denver, and you was only a freshman. You was on a billboard.
Yeah. I actually, funny quick story. my friends came down to watch me play, and I actually tried to avoid showing them because I didn't really know how to address it. It's like, I don't want to be arrogant about it, but I also am proud of it. And then I accidentally took a wrong turn on the wrong street, and they kind of looked up and was like, "Bull," And at that point, obviously, it's cool. We talked about it, and they were excited for me, which was cool to see because you never know how other people will respond to your success because it's not necessarily theirs, but it is.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. There's this saying that I've heard, and I actually agree with it. It's like, not everyone, before I say this, but a lot of people want to see you do well. They just don't want to see you do better than them.
Right.
And with that being said, I understand what you meant by not wanting to. But I ain't gonna lie. As a father, I was proud. I mean, I was all proud. I couldn't help myself. I thought it was huge, but you was real low key about it, which I respect that. It's called humility, is the way I looked at it. But I wasn't humble at all. I was like, yo man, look at that.
Yeah.
But after leaving Denver, you had a brief stop at Kearney, right?
Yep.
And then you came on to UNO.
Yep. So I went to Kearney just for a semester. A couple guys that I had known through high school and played AAU with. I knew those guys pretty well.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of easy transition. And long story short, those guys ended up leaving at semester after spring. And so I just kind of looked around like that meme we've all seen of Will Smith walking into his living room when it was all empty. So I just kind of looked around like, all right, where are we going? And that kind of took me to UNO.
Okay. Now, the time at UNO, when you first got there, did you have the red shirt?
Yeah. So because it's a lot different now than it was then, but because of the transfer rules at the time, I had to sit that entire, what would have been my sophomore year, because I transferred. Because when I left Denver, it was the beginning of my sophomore year.
Right.
And so then it would have been my junior year. I set that year out. And so then because the rules were what they were, I just kind of had to treat practices like games.
Right. And you end up, that still left you with 2 years of eligibility.
Yep. So I played 2 years, and,
I know you don't like to talk about this, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to put you on blast, man. I'm having a proud moment here, so let me have this. But in 2 seasons, you accomplished something that hadn't been accomplished.
Yeah.
Scoring.
If you're gonna make me sit here and say it, I guess I'll say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you say it. I'm just trying to be nice about it.
But. No. Yeah. So I played 2 years. I was the fastest player in school history to reach 1,000 points. That's just a real fancy way of saying I shot a ton of shots. I mean, there were games, and so shout out to all my teammates for being patient with me.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you had success, man. I mean, I enjoyed watching your 2 seasons there. Then after college, you took off.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to see where it could take me. Ever since I was however old, I had a plan. I was going to play basketball as long as I could. And hopefully in that process, meet some people that can help me get into the coaching realm, and away we go. So I really didn't have this huge, elaborate plan, but yes, I went to, first I went to Canada really, really briefly, training camp, injury happened. And so I came home, ended up going back out there for another short stint, and then finished the season out on the East Coast in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Now, I had the pleasure of watching a lot of those games, and when you were in Scranton, they streamed them.
Yeah.
And you had this one play in particular that stands out where you took off on somebody and dunked, and the announcer was way more excited than even me.
Oh yeah. It's funny you say that, because if we're talking about the same play, that play was actually on the road in Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
And so
he went off though.
Yeah, that was fun, and credit to their media team. They actually got us a copy of the broadcast. So I had obviously not heard it in live action because it wasn't, in the speakers in the stadium. But,
right.
But yeah, no, it was fun to hear him react when you anytime you can get a reaction from the road crowd or commentators, you did something right.
Yeah, it was special because he was like, I was like, all right. Let T Bull up there handling his business.
Man, just trying to have fun, man.
Well, that's cool. That's what it's all about. If you're going to play, you might as well enjoy it.
Right.
Now, the coaching aspect. Just kind of curious, man. What led you to want to be a coach?
Kind of like I talked about a little bit ago, it was just kind of always part of the plan. I know I love the game, and there's a lot that I don't know and still learning, and I know what it has done for me and the coaches that I've had, and the role that they have played in the person that I am today. And so to kind of push that and move it forward, pay it forward is something that I've always kind of taken very seriously. But at the same time, the old saying, you can't take yourself too seriously because it is a game and you want to enjoy it. So trying to find that happy median and building the relationships and obviously the X's and O's part of it is just something that I've always enjoyed. Well,
let me ask you this. When you got done with UNO, you took a job there at UNO. Is that correct?
Yep. So I'm talking to Coach. I'm at this time. I'm at Scranton. Season's winding down. Not really sure what's going to be next. And so I had a conversation with Coach Hansen, and he had an opening, which is the director of basketball operations. Which, if I had to describe it, I tell people all the time, you're kind of like an offensive lineman, right? Yeah. You only get noticed when you screw up.
Right.
Gotcha. The travel that aren't right, the bus isn't there, the food is cold, the order is wrong, all those things. The things that we take for granted as players. Right. I don't even look at receipts the same anymore. I got to keep them all just to make sure. So no, I did that for 2 years. Kind of got my foot in the door a little bit, and then from there, I went on to coach 2 years junior college at Southwestern. And then did that for 2 seasons, kind of got that thing turned around a little bit. And then I was able to return full time at UNO as an assistant. And then I did that for 4 years.
Okay.
And then just recently I finished up coaching women for 2 seasons.
That's what I was going to ask you next, man. You've been coaching men all your life, all your career, I should say.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're the head women's coach at Wesleyan.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Completely just different.
Yeah.
Just different. The basketball part of it, there are some similarities. Obviously, the rules are for the most part the same, but the day-to-day operations are night and day different. And honestly, I wish some things would have been differently when I was there, but I truly feel like I needed that. It helped me be a better communicator. It definitely gave me a different perspective of the game, and it's something that I hope will pay dividends for me as I continue on this journey.
Well, being the coach at Wesleyan, like I had said to you before the show, I actually enjoyed, even though you didn't have the success that you would like to have had.
Right.
I enjoyed the fact that I could come to the game.
Yeah.
Sure. You were like 5 minutes from the house.
Oh, it was great. Being in the city where you're born and raised.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to be around the sport that you love. And yeah, it was good.
Well, the one thing that I did notice, and I never said anything to you till now.
No.
I was concerned with your competitive nature and coaching females.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they are a little different.
Yeah. And different isn't necessarily worse.
Yeah.
Let's be clear on that. It's just a different way of going about it, because I'll tell you right now, I came across multiple student athletes on the women's side that were just as competitive and fiery as I am. And I had to make sure that I remembered that I'm supposed to be the adult. Right. And so I don't want to sit here and, make sure this narrative is received correctly. There are just as many, if not more, competitive student athletes on the women's side, but just how going about it is different. I had a guy tell me, on the men's side, you have to win to bond. Where on the women's side, you have to bond to win. And
right.
That's a different.
Yeah.
That's just a whole different animal.
Well, I will say this, man. I know you had done what you needed to do while you were there, and then it presented you with the current opportunity that you're at now. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah. And in the world of sports, and really, in the world of business in general, it's all about who you know. Right. And so now I was presented with an opportunity to join a program that has already had success, and just hasn't quite got over the hump in Kirkwood. And the head coach there, Tim Sandquist, I actually met when I transferred to UNO. So little did I know 12 years ago, 14 years ago, I was auditioning for the job that I currently have.
Wow.
Right. And so you just never really know, why people are entered into your life and why you cross paths. So you always want to, like you always say, treat people with respect and just there's no need to be. We all know the difference from right and wrong.
Right. And that's something that's very important because sometimes as humans, I think we lose sight of the simple rule, treating people the way you want to be treated. I'm not saying that everyone deserves it,
Right.
but I think it's important that you hold yourself to a certain standard.
For sure.
Some people, they don't agree with that, and that's fine. But as long as they give me what I call the 50 feet rule, then we can usually coexist.
Right. Yep.
But now you took this job and you've only been there. You're just getting started there.
Sure.
Just from the little bit of time that you've been there, what's your take on it?
Oh, it's going to be a great opportunity for me. It's gonna force me out of my comfort zone. Oh, and what I mean by that is it's just different.
Yeah.
Anytime change happens, you have to readjust. And so I think the biggest thing for me is kind of the culture that is Kirkwood. That's not something that I am going to need to recreate, or I just need to not get in the way.
Right.
And they were 25-6 last season. In those 6 losses, I think we averaged about 72.5 points a game. So, I mean, even when the wins and loss doesn't necessarily go our way, we're still putting in the basket. And defensively, they're just a different animal defensively.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, we had a quick conversation when you first got there and got introduced to the team.
Oh yeah. So I will tell the story and first, and I'll preface it by saying I tell the story humbly. I like to joke, I like to laugh, I like to, obviously everybody knows kind of where I get that from. But I had an opportunity to meet the team, and we're just talking and just trying to get to know each other. And the first, if not the first, the second thing I say to the group is, I can tell everybody in here is thinking it. I'll just go ahead and address it. And no one in this room can guard me. and I'm getting older, and it's getting harder to do things I used to do. And I got the reaction that I hoped. It was a big laughter, kind of like that weight had been lifted, and so now we can just have a regular conversation.
Right.
Because there's one thing about me. I kind of skipped the formalities of the, hey, let's fill each other out. I don't know. I'm already there.
Right.
You take as much time as you need to get there, but I'm here because we have the same common goal, and I can't wait to get to work towards it.
I mean, I think that was an excellent icebreaker because you'll actually get an opportunity to prove that.
Yeah.
At some point you're going to be on the court with these guys, and they're going to remember that.
Yeah, and what they need to understand is we're talking 10 to 15 second spurts here.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and I may have a pad to lessen the blow.
Right.
But no, I mean they're a great group. We've got some all-region guys returning and had another one that just graduated. So, like I said, the success, it's there. I just hope to kind of get us over the hump a little bit and see what we can do in that national tournament.
Well, before I go any further, man, I got to ask one quick question. Man, I see some kind of.
Oh, yeah.
I see something over in that chair. I want to know what that's about.
Yeah,
man.
Of course. Everywhere I go, I got to look out for you. So I talked to Coach Sandquist, and he got you official Kirkwood polo.
Hey, man.
See it out on the golf course. Here's coming to a golf course near you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, man. I appreciate this. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back on 93.7 The Ticket just to get you happy on hour. Don't go anywhere.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Are you or someone you love struggling with substance use? The Bridge Behavioral Health in Lincoln offers outpatient therapy for those 19 and over. The Bridge is conveniently located in the South Haymarket and near city bus lines. With payment options through insurance and a sliding fee scale, services are available for any adult 19 and over seeking help. Call 402-477-3951 to learn more or schedule your appointment today. The Bridge Behavioral Health is a local substance use treatment facility offering hope and a solid foundation for recovery through substance use treatment and behavioral health interventions.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $25.60 per hour, which grows to $30.12 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $34.51 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacations for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
This is Bree Fansteel, local race car driver. Join me and James Rowland every Sunday at 7 p.m. for The Finish Line, where we discuss off-road, on-road, and sometimes next-to-the-road racing on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Hey, we're back on the Get Your Happy On Hour. Man, let me tell you something. I'm having fun. This is really interesting for me, and I hope it's interesting for you as well. But, I got to say this, too. I've been having Ben here for quite a while, and the guy that actually trained Ben is back with me. Austin, man, I appreciate you stepping up, man, and being a part of this tonight. I got to ask one question that I always ask Ben. Man, we got any comments?
You got plenty of comments here.
Well,
We'll start with.
Let me hear
Let's
them.
see. Mary Ellen says, "What's up?" and congrats on the new gig, Tyler.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
That's all right.
I'm sending people. I'm sending people. Now I need like a discount code. It don't sound as cool when you say, "Hey, tell them I sent you," and they be like, "What's that gonna do for me?" Just throwing it out there.
All right, we got a Theola Cooper, great father son show. Love this. Congratulations on your new position at Kirkwood, Tyler.
Thank you.
Thank you, Theo. I appreciate it. You hurry up and get back to Omaha, because we're going to have you on the show as well.
Kim Kelly says, congratulations, Coach Bullock, on the new gig. As your dad says, I see you doing big things.
I appreciate it.
Kim Kelly, you already know what it is. That's what we do.
Hey, she also says women are just as competitive, Ricky.
I believe that.
I would love to go on record and say that's what I said. So,
correct.
Kim Kelly.
Bossman DP says congrats, and Marilyn Richardson says she's enjoying the show.
DP, man, look at him. We got to get DP back on the show at some point.
Seems only right.
Yeah, we got to get him back on there, because I know he's doing big thing. And Marilyn, I appreciate it. I believe she's in Atlanta, I think, or she's in Georgia. Is that correct, or does it say?
I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Okay, well, you know what? I have asked, since it's a basketball type of conversation, and I know that Austin does a show with Strickland, and my son is actually a fan of Strickland for such a long time. I want to know, Austin, you got any questions?
Well, first of all, is this you admitting that you're the third best basketball player in the room?
Oh, man, I ain't got no skills.
Third? Do we have anybody else?
I think I saw a little fly.
There we go.
Say, wait a minute. Now, if y'all want to build some houses, I can throw up some bricks for you.
Go. Yeah. So Tyler, how basketball? How did you discover that basketball was your game?
I just started thinking about it differently than I did other sports. And my grandparents at the time, my grandma in particular, she really wanted me to play basketball. So then anything grandma says is gold. So then now I'm like, okay, how can I make this work? How can I be different? And so once I really started to kind of dive into the intricacies of the game a little bit, it just kind of took off from there.
Is there a coach or a mentor in the game of basketball that stands out to you?
There's a bunch of great names. I will say for me personally, my sophomore year, we played Oklahoma, and to see Capel talk to Blake Griffin, a future #1 draft pick, the way he was, kind of made me like, yeah, I want to have those conversations. Yeah. So, and I'm a Duke guy as well.
My man.
Yeah. I'm a Duke guy. So, anything Coach K says, you can take it to the bank. I've read his book multiple times, like the words are going to change, and so, you can go down the list of the legendary coaches in the game, and ones that are no longer in the game and ones that are still are. And you can't go wrong with some of those heavy hitters.
Cooper Flag, though. Coop's coming.
Man, this team, and I try to be as unbiased as I can, but Coach Shire really did his thing on the recruiting trail. And if you're a Duke fan out there, it's a great time to be a Duke fan. I think this team is very talented, has a chance to really do some things defensively that other teams haven't been able to do, which excites me more so than anything.
I've avoided hopping on the championship or bust. But against Duke basketball, it's championship or bust. But I've tried to temper expectations pretty much every year since Zion, RJ, Cam.
Right, yeah.
Oh no, I'm unbearable this offseason.
That team was, talk about being talented. Obviously, all those guys are having their careers in the NBA right now. But the thing about it is, you just never know with freshmen. You just don't know, because there's just an element to March Madness and the grind of a college season, and all the other demands, whether it be study tables, weight room, whatever it is, academic, that you have to get taken care of. It's just a different grind. So yeah, they're ultra talented, and I don't think anyone's going to deny that. But it's the same thing when the guys go from college to the NBA. That's a whole another, 50 plus games potentially. And how do you manage all those things?
You made the jump from high school to college. What was it like your first year? How much more comfortable did you feel by the end? And what would you like? What was some advice, I guess, for kids making that jump?
Yeah, that's a great question. The first year, I honestly had no expectations, so I didn't know exactly what I was getting into. It didn't take long for me to realize the centers are now 6'10" and up. Whereas where I'm coming from, every now and again you may have a 6'7", 6'8" kid. So tailoring my game to that, to not shooting many threes, to almost being a 3-point specialist was kind of the biggest difference from my senior year of high school to my freshman year. But the biggest piece of advice, man, is just put the work in. Just show up every single day. And that's not going to guarantee you anything. So I don't want to sit here and somebody's listening and say, hey, I went to work every day and I didn't get the result. Well, that's not what I'm saying. Just go to work every single day, because if you don't, that pretty much tells you what you're gonna get out of it, right? And so now you're gonna be left with, I wish I would have, and oh man, if I would have known. Nope. Just show up to work every single day. Give it what you have. Coaches can't ask you for any more than what you have, right? Because that's all you can give them.
Hey, can you tell the story about how you met Strickland?
Oh yeah, so this was, I don't even know what year. I'm not even going to try and pretend to get it right. It was a long time ago. Those of you that are from Lincoln, Old Country Buffet was still here on O Street. And so we're sitting there with my family, and my grandma was not shy about taking pictures, even in the slightest. And so I can only imagine how Strick was feeling in that moment, because I'm sure he felt obligated to now take a picture with this lady's grandson. And so, long story short, he is who he is. He's here, especially here in town. We all know kind of what he was able to do. And it's really cool to see people out like that in a natural element. And so I got a picture with Strick, and it's something that I still have, and credit to my grandparents for keeping all that stuff. It's, it's in plastic. It's great. It looks like it was just, anymore. No one knows what getting a picture published or whatever the proper term looks like anymore, but it's in great condition, and it's something that I'm glad that I have.
I mean this. I know Strick means it. Open invitation on the block 2 to 4. You're in town.
Oh man,
stop by. We'll talk hoop for a while.
All right, careful.
I'm just saying, we're hoop guys. We'd love to have you. A couple more comments and then one more for you. Carla Walker says, congrats on your achievements. Manuel Q Master Hurd says, what up, y'all? And I got to know, hooper to hooper, your move, your go-to. You had it in your bag the longest, one possession, game on the line. What are you going to?
Man, and this is gonna be controversial, because I'll be the first to admit the stuff that these kids do now, I would have been in a fossil, because I just didn't have the skill and all the tween and all that stuff. So it was very simple for me. I just wanted the ball. It wasn't more so about the move. It was where I could catch it.
Sure.
So if you catch it, if you let me get it in the slot,
right or left, either.
If I'm gonna pick, I would probably be on the right, and I'm just gonna move you just enough to create space, and then we're gonna test your vertical and see if you can get up here.
Nice and simple. Nice and simple.
We're just gonna see how it goes from there, and then from there we make adjustments, and that's the game within the game.
Well, the one thing I remember from watching is you be at the top of the key, and then when they come charging out like they're trying to close out late, you blow by them and dunk. That's what I like.
Driving closeout is one of the hardest, guarding a closeout is one of the hardest things to do in basketball. I don't care what anybody says. And so if you can make the defense stay in a constant set of chase, and I get a chance to drive a closeout.
Well,
best person or best dunk you remember in a game, or practice if it's a teammate. You won't put them on blast. That's fine.
No. I'd probably say I had a teammate in high school that liked to throw it off the backboard, and one time there was a guy trailing him to block his layup. Little did he know he had about a 1% intent of shooting this ball instead of just throwing it off the glass. And so when he jumped for what he thought was the rebound, I jumped for what I knew was the pass, and student section had a lot of fun with that one. That was fun.
Then the band started playing.
Yeah, there's some music from somewhere. Yeah, it was a good time.
Well, one thing I would say, man, is I really appreciate the fact that you're open to discuss this, and I want to thank Austin for asking these questions too, because basketball was the one sport that I never really even attempted. I will say this. I have always been in awe of the fact that you could dunk because you're talking to a guy that's never dunked. I could touch the rim, but not with the ball in my hand.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. We call those tennis ball dunkers.
Yeah, give me a tennis ball now. I'm dangerous. But basketball, no. And not jumping off of 1 foot and all that, none of that. So.
Yeah, I was definitely a 2-foot jumper just because I felt like common sense. Well, if I can use both legs, I'm gonna jump higher, right?
It seems like it'd be twice the power, not half.
You would think, and obviously that's not entirely true. But yeah, I was definitely more of a 2-foot jumper.
Well, I'm excited about this season for you, man. I know it was more of your element, coaching men. And as Kim Kelly said, I know there are competitive women. I'm not doubting that.
I will double down on that statement.
Yeah,
Kim Kelly.
So we're doubling down because it's true. I know that, and I saw it firsthand. I just know that watching you coach men will be fun for me because you can be who you really are, and I'm always real careful about how we go about things.
Right.
And with men, you can be a little more forceful with your conversations too.
Sure.
And I just, as a respect factor, not that you can't be forceful with women. I just think it's smarter to be a little more politically correct.
Yeah. And like I said, this is all I've ever known. This is how I was coached growing up. So it's a real smooth transition. Again, I learned a ton. I learned a ton about myself and how to communicate and different ways of communication and how important all the other stuff is these past seasons. So I don't take it for granted, and I'm actually very appreciative of that.
Smart.
But yeah, this will be a good challenge with a good group of guys with some very goals.
And the thing is too, by this being like a 2-year school,
yeah,
you're gonna have a really high turnover.
Yep.
I mean, not that they don't have turnover on 4-year schools, but when you only got 2 seasons, you got to get the best out of them as fast as possible.
Yep. And anymore, with the portal being what it is, every 4 years, essentially in 1 year.
Yeah.
It's just what can you do for me now? But that's a whole nother conversation for a different day. But yeah, it's a different element of recruiting because you can't get a really good point guard and have him for 4 years. At best 2, and if he's really good, 1. So you want to stay active on the recruiting trail. It's probably the most important thing at any level. Right. Sometimes it's not about the X's and O's, but it's about the Jimmys and Joes.
Right.
And so you want to have as much talent as you can out there, but you also want to have the right pieces. And so that's kind of where the fun of recruiting takes a turn.
So when you say recruiting, I mean, just kind of give me a general area of just the area that you recruit.
Well, obviously Nebraska, just knowing the people that I know, whether it's high school coaches or now friends with sons or whatever the case may be, just from that. I got really good in Minnesota during my time at UNO, so I'll look to kind of rekindle some of those relationships, and that'll be fun. Minnesota is loaded with talent, and there's just so many players, so many good basketball players out there, and just the opportunities for them to play have to be elsewhere sometimes.
Right.
And so, that Iowa, obviously we're in Iowa. We got to make sure we take care of our backyard. Nebraska, just because of some of the roots and the connections that I have here, and then Minnesota has been good to me personally. The other demographic, Chicago, the Illinois area.
Yeah, I was just going to mention Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, Milwaukee, Kirkwood, in the years past have had some success there as well. So that's another demographic that relationships have been built, and we all know, the level of basketball played in Chicago in particular. And if you can pluck one of those, 2 of those, heck, 3 of those, well, now you're on to something.
Right. Well, I have the utmost confidence in the fact that you're going to go get them, because that's what you do, that's what you've done, and that's what you will continue to do. And I'm going to be watching too. So, I'm going to be getting some frequent flyer miles, I think, out of this deal. But hey, look, we're going to take one more break before we wrap this thing up. Don't go anywhere on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Summertime is here, and so is another action-packed baseball season with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Bring your whole crew to Haymarket Park to experience the magic under the lights and the thrill of the game. Enjoy daily specials like Wiener Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, and Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts. Don't miss out on the excitement.
Strike three, you're out.
Visit saltdogs.com to see this week's promotions and secure your tickets to unleash the fun.
Are you tired of the same old entertainment options? How about something that's truly fun for both kids and adults? Nebraska Knockerball, the new place to go for your private and corporate parties. Step inside one of their inflatable spears and let out stress in a healthy form of exercise. Or try the human foosball, foot darts, yard pong, giant beer pong, basketball Connect 4, and much more. Nebraska Knockerball, specializing in physical, engaging fun. Call Nebraska Knockerball today at 402-460-8724 to learn more or book a reservation now.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $25.60 per hour, which grows to $30.12 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $34.51 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacations for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and maybe the biggest savings in the Midwest are happening right now at Koppel. When you buy a new GMC or Chevrolet anywhere else, you might be paying too much. But right now, we're going to give you over $10,000 off list or 1.9% APR on select new Chevrolets or GMCs. So please give us a shot before you buy anywhere else. Please stop in the dealership or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Must trade and finance with a roof credit.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at Next nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Hey, and we back. Carla Walker, I got it. I got the message. Your mom lives outside of Augusta, Georgia, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in, and it means a lot to me that people just take time out of their day to listen in. So thank you again for that. You know, I was just sitting there thinking during the break, Coach T. Bullock, if you got friends that might be interested in being a guest on the show, man, feel free to let them know that the opportunity is available, and you let me know, and we'll see if we can work out something.
For sure. I got a couple names in mind, so I'll keep you posted.
I appreciate that. You know, another thing too, I want to share with everybody. When you're out here going through your day, be aware of adversity. Adversity is everywhere. It's unavoidable sometimes. I get it, but do your best to try to avoid adversity, because the consequences are not worth it. I had to learn that the hard way, and I want you not to have to do that. So be very aware of your surroundings, be alert, make good choices. And even though it doesn't make a lot of sense, treat people the way you want to be treated. The key to that is just don't expect it in return. That way you don't have your feelings hurt. Coach Bullock, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, man. Well, anybody out there tuning in, listening, I appreciate, you supporting my pops and what he does. So I'll first and foremost say that. Caught me off guard with that one. I think, I think I'm gonna let that one. I'm gonna pass it back to you before I butcher it. That way I can't leave anybody out.
Yeah,
right.
Well, just shout out to everybody that supports what you do, and I'm your number one fan. So I want that to be public. Also, I'm big on giving people credit to their face versus after the fact. I'm proud of what you're doing. It takes a lot of commitment. So big shout out to you.
Hey, I will humbly say thank you, man. It's been a journey, but we're just getting started.
Yep. And we got a lot of work to do, and I'm going to get some miles put on this car of mine because I got a feeling I'm going to need some tickets. So I'm putting my bid in now. Be sure to make sure I got a schedule. So that way I can kind of keep up with it. But no, again, really, I'm really happy for the success that you've had, and I'm happy for the success that you will have in the future. And I got to give a big shout out to Austin, man, for stepping up and doing this for us tonight.
Thanks for not kicking me out. I know you were a little hesitant when you saw me. It wasn't Ben. You were a little confused,
man,
but you kept me around, so thank you.
Hey, I was looking for Ben, but you know what, man? I appreciate everything. I'm one of those guys that don't take things for granted. I think taking things for granted is one of the worst mistakes you can make, because you never know when you're going to need someone. And when you take stuff for granted, people tend to remember that. So, again, I'm very appreciative of that. Well, my last question is, you done shared quite a bit of stuff with us, man, and you've got a lot going on. When you do get some downtime, how does Coach Bullock get his happy on?
Well, I try to stay active, whether it's I don't run, so let me just nip that in the butt right now. Cardio is not a favorite thing of mine. I try to get active, lift some weights around, just kind of give myself a chance to kind of turn my mind off for a little bit. Shout out to EA Sports. I guess I should have said that in your shout out, but they bring me back to my childhood. They just released a college football game out for PlayStation 5 and whatever the Xbox. I'm not an Xbox guy, so I won't offend anybody. But so now that's out, so I'll get a chance to zone out and play that for a little bit, which is
what about golf?
Oh yeah, I'll sling like I know what I'm doing. And it's fun. I enjoy the challenge. I don't know. I've seen it where I guess I'm a psycho because no one ever really truly masters golf, but yet we keep going out there and trying to figure it out. So
right.
Golf, weights. That's about it.
Well, hey, look, again, I want to thank everybody, man, for tuning in. We'll be back next Sunday, but I close every show the same way. Every day you blessed to see, it's just another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on. See y'all next Sunday.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply.